What's up, guys? Ninth annual Twilight Masters coming up on Sunday. First time Rich Maiden is ever going to host a major. Here we have last year's winner. I won championship. Ursulak won first flight, and Eli won second flight. Starting times, you can look at those in more detail. I ended up with 13 in championship, 12 in first flight, and 10 in second flight. Had Nick Hand was a late ad, but I like the way I'm doing it now, where I wait to see who signed up and then just break it down into equal groups from there. So the last major where we had kind of that issue turned into something that I like. So, and it definitely means that some people who are kind of like teetering on like championship or first and second, it probably means like you would bounce around between those two flights depending on, I guess it would say, like the quality of the field that signs up. Rules, not much to explain here. You guys know the deal by now. We just have championship is going to be playing the Blues. Not that that really even matters at Rich Maiden. Like both of these courses this year, 55.71 is the yardage from the tips, and it's really only a couple hundred yards shorter from the whites. I've never even played the Blues. I can't recall a hole that's like, wow, it's that different. I think it might be just a pretty consistent, maybe like 20 yards on every hole. But, you know, fairway, fringe, grip length, playing it down everywhere else. Bunkers rake in place. You know, it's our normal stuff. No gimmies. You have to hit the hole. No OB, fescue, lost ball. All of that stuff is just a stroke. You do not have to do distance with any of those. So, you know, wherever you hit it out of bounds. I'm even blanking. I don't even think Rich Maiden has water, does it? I don't think it does. So anywhere you hit it out of bounds, you know, you would just drop where it entered and take a stroke. I'm kind of like distracted now because I'm thinking if there's a single water hazard on Rich Maiden, and I don't think there is. Entry fee, $22. $10 goes to the purse, $10 to CTPs and skins, $2 to Scroff. You don't have to worry about that. That's just coming off the dick list. Betting, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. So this is our 9th Masters. The whole story behind Championship Flight having a golden jacket is because this was going to be like our version of the Masters, where it's held at the same course every year. I can't entirely remember what happened. I want to say in 2018, we got a really, really bad rainstorm, and Golden Oaks was closed for the day, and we somehow like last minute, well, this was like pre-COVID where Schuylkill wasn't that full. Larry was still the pro, you know, you could do that stuff there, that we got on there last minute. And then I think Golden Oaks kind of got too expensive. You can see we did go back twice since then, but that is why we give out the golden jacket. That just did not end up happening more than that. So yeah, anyway, Championship Flight winners. I'm going to run here of 3 in a row after, you know, Laud broke up Steve's 3 in a row. Kaz did win the inaugural one at Golden Oaks. Then we have First Flight, Ursulak. He cannot defend. So really you're going back to Allen won the previous one at Iron Valley. And then we have, here we go, Second Flight. Eli won last year, and he's not defending because he's in First Flight, so that would also go back to Gallagher at Iron Valley. You can see, too, how the scores just change depending on venue as well. Like Iron Valley is obviously a tough one. Let's go to Second Flight since I have to keep this video under 15 minutes. Let's keep it moving. So, Schnecky has never played in Second Flight. He's played a ton of First Flight majors. That's why I'm making him the favorite. At 1-1. Gallagher has had a lot of success. You can see he's on a run here of a second, a third, and he did win, as I just mentioned, at Iron Valley. So I have him at 2-1. I also have Belts at 2-1. He's a guy who, you know, right here in the middle has played a lot of First Flight majors and almost won a couple. I think both of these this year almost won in First Flight. So I think he is going to be right there in the mix at 2-1. I then go to a group of Win, Plachko, Eck, and Charlie, who I all have at 3. I don't think I have too much to really report here. Who's that came in second? Plachko came in second at Golden Oaks last year, and then that would be Eck came in second at the Manor. Hefner's making his second flight debut. Ben's also making his second flight debut. Ben might even be making his first round of the year. I don't know if Ben's really playing any golf. I'm just guessing it's no. And then we have Nida and Jack Barton. Not much to report there. I mean, as I quick do some scanning, you got Gallagher is the best average score, which is 82.7. But you can see all of these guys right here in a small group of 82 to 87. Does anybody's Rich Maiden average stand out? Schnecky 79, Ben 78. And as for a win, Gallagher's the only one that's won a first flight major, and he also has 4 top 3s. Eck has 3 top 3s. And that's what's looking at the average finish. Gallagher's at a 3.3. So that's why I have those 2 guys at the top, Schneck and Gallagher, for second flight. And second flight is playing the white tees. 10 guys, $100, so 40, 30, 20, 10 is going to be the payout in second flight. All right. Moving down to first. AB coming off a strong performance in the match play. I have as a co-favorite with Jones, who also had, even though he lost, a hell of a round. And of course, Jonesy's coming off his playoff loss to Stu at the Open at Willow Hollow. So I made those 2 our co-favorites. Let's see, AB did play at Willow Hollow. Didn't play the best, but still, like I said, I kind of like him. He beat Pez in the match play. He took Dietz to 16, so he's been playing decent recently. He has only played 2 first flight majors. Came in a top 3 a while back at Pine Meadows. Jonesy, as I just mentioned, is coming off the playoff loss to Stu. He's blank in here because he was playing some championship flight. He also has 2 other seconds. So out of Jones's 4 majors in first flight, he's come top 3 in 3 of them. So, that's why I have him at the top. Eli's been flying up the ranks after winning last year. Let's see, he came in 6th at Willow Hollow in his first flight. He's also been playing some good golf, qualified for championship flight in the match play. Rich Maiden should be a pretty good course for him too, even though he has not played it, at least in Twilight. I'm sure he's played it outside of that. JD, I made him same as Eli, 3-1, 78.3 average, 72 average, and you can see that is by far the lowest at Rich Maiden. He played in first flight as well, came in 5th. He was playing some championship flight in here. And just as a side note, you got to remember these Rich Maiden averages are kind of skewed because we usually play it in February when it's blowing 30, the greens are lightning, it's cold. So these average numbers are probably a little deceiving. Now, with that being said, we played Rich Maiden in a doubleheader when Pleasant Hills was still there for maybe 7 years. So guys who've been in Twilight a long time, like Doug, has a pretty accurate Rich Maiden, round. But just so you're aware, the people who've been in the league probably less than 5 years, their average score at Rich Maiden has only been in February and March in super shitty weather. Okay, moving on. I have a bunch of 5-1s. All right, so Noah came in 6th in his first major last time at the Open at Willow Hollow. Allen was our defending. I think Allen's had some pretty good success. He came in 3rd at Willow, and like I said, he won at Iron Valley. So I have him at 5-1. Yeah, you can see 2 top 3s out of 4. Gower, we know, won at Willow Hollow. So now his scoring average, made him come up to first flight, which he's come in 4th, 5th, and 7th. All right, Doug, lots of data here for Doug. 16 majors he's played in. He's come in the top 4 3 times. Now, here comes a guy that's also, he's coming off a 9th at Willow and 9th. He did come at 2nd in the Manor. Here's somebody who's coming off some good golf in the match play. Speaking of Gower, he beat Gower in 19 holes in the first round, and then he beat Jay-Z in 18. I think it won one up versus Jay-Z before he lost to Zig in the semifinals. So Doug playing some very good golf recently. Okay, and then I have Steele, has a couple, a second and a third. And then not much going on here at the end. We have Sav, who doesn't have any top threes. Baney, 8 and no top threes. And same with Jake, 4. So that's why I have them at 5, 7, and 7. And I'm talking faster because I'm running out of time. They have a purse of 120, 50, 30, 20, 10. Okay, coming to championship. You got lots of data in championship. So I made 4 of us 2-1. Laud, Steve, Hand, and myself. Laud did not play a major since the 24 Open. Wow, since he actually won. And he has, you can see, 9 top threes out of 12 events. Really impressive. Steve, 9 top threes out of 16. He is coming off of winning at Willow Hollow, the Open. Hand is home course in high school. Probably has played more rounds here than everybody else. Let's see. Hand has 8 top threes out of 15. He has not done anything since winning the Open at Sugarloaf, his honey hole. All right, myself, I have 11 out of 17 top threes. And like I said, I'm coming off of 3 wins in a row at the Masters. They're just kind of like Masters, and 22-1. They're kind of split up depending on when we do it. But yeah, I'm on a run here too of just coming in a lot of top threes, as I'll probably jinx myself. Going into Rich Maiden, and I have Pez at 3-1. His recent form has been good. 3rd place at Willow, 2nd place at the Manor. Then Decker I made at 4, 2nd place at Golden Oaks last year. And then we start to go to a bunch of 5s. Ursulak, Jay-Z, Foster, Billy D, Puzzy. And you see why I put those a bunch at 5. There's like not much going on in this area. You know, Joe mainly plays in First Flight. He still does have 1 top 3. Jay-Z doesn't have any. Foster has the crazy win at Fox Chase, the original Open in 2017. He won. And then Billy D doesn't have anything. Puzzy doesn't have anything. Same with Carson. I made him 7-1, and Curtis is making, I think, just his major debut. So just scrolling over there, you can see no top 3s or anything to report there. We have $130 in championship flight, so I made that 50, 40, 25, and 15. Now that I do have at least a couple more minutes here before my time runs out, I'll go back and talk about this a little bit more. We have Steve, the lowest average score. I'm trying to think even who's in like the best form right now. Probably, I guess, Steve. Laud's not playing a lot of golf because of the kid, but when he is playing golf, it's still very good. Steve did play very good golf at the Sullivan, beat Mystician, the Mystician killer, in the match play before losing to Bailey in 19 holes. Hands, what did he do in the match play? He beat Gary Hess in the morning and then lost to... Or did he lose? Who the hell did Hand lose to? Now I'm blanking on that. I'll think of it. Albie. Yeah, Hand lost to Albie. Think 1 down on 18. I beat Grant, lost to Troutman in 19 holes. Admittedly, I can tell you I'm not playing the best golf right now. But who knows? Maybe I just need a little Twilight and Rich Maiden in my life. Pez, like I said, AB beat him in the match play. I don't think he's been playing a ton outside of that. But there's another guy who has a lot of rounds. Being a Burks guy, has a lot of rounds at Rich Maiden. Let's look at the Rich Maiden averages. Steve, 69.8. Then we got a 70.7 for Hand, 71.3, 71.7, 72.3. I mean, that's why I have us 5 up here as your, lower odds, and then combined with the, the wins and the top 3s in it. So I put us at 2-1 and Pez at 3-1. Now I'm running out of time. Betting window is open. Just try to get those to me before Sunday. Even with a noon tee time, you can probably get it to me Sunday morning and I'll be okay. Good luck betting. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Sunday for our first major at Rich Maiden.